I don't know if y'all can tell, but I've been on the channel a lot more, that I have some more bandwidth to give. I am actually doing so much better with, you know, being able to do stuff and getting stuff done. Hi guys, welcome to GWP Homestead's channel. I'm Megan, and today is a garden tour day. It is first full week of June, so it is starting to get hot here in Kentucky. So it is definitely get everything done you can in the morning and try to do inside stuff after lunch. So I am out here super early. The big kids are actually all the kids are inside eating breakfast, and then some of them are going to vacation Bible school and probably do a few more things once they're gone. But I wanted to start some of this now while I had time. We do have a couple things we need to plant. Remember that produce auction I was talking about a couple videos ago? Well, if you're new here, there's a produce auction down the road from us, and they sell produce. Like, I brought strawberries, I've bought potatoes and that kind of thing, but they also were early in the season. They're kind of winding down now. They sell plants. So I've bought a lot of my plant starts there. And I think 2 weeks ago I bought herbs, and it was a mixed box of 3-inch herb pots. It was 45 of them for 10 cents each. So I have all the herbs I know what to do with, and then I bought some extras. So I get to show you that. Also, a couple weeks ago we had a pretty nasty storm. It knocked power out for a lot of people for several days. We were fortunate and didn't lose any power, and we also didn't lose any major trees. One thing we did lose is this raised bed here used to be taller. It used to be like countertop height, and it fell over, and so Reagan chopped it off. We're gonna strip the lettuce out of it and replant it today. We did salvage some of the lettuce. Some of it's probably still edible, but we're just gonna feed it to the animals. And then this is the bed that I talked about on the last tour that got covered up in poison ivy, and me and Keaton couldn't eat it. So Reagan moved it out, cleaned everything, stripped it, and we've replanted it with herbs. Let me do a little weeding. So we've got rosemary, parsley, chive. This is actually purple basil, which I kind of bought on a whim. And then these are all basil. So I'm excited about those. And we'll talk some more about all this stuff in a minute, because there's some dill and some other stuff there. Some of it I'm really excited about. Some of it I have no idea what I'm going to do with. Like, I got spearmint. They also, in that pot, got cilantro. And I was kind of sad about the cilantro because a lot of people think cilantro is really hard to grow. Yes, Bo. Yes. Cilantro is actually not hard to grow necessarily. It's the fact that people try to plant it in the wrong time a year. They try to plant it with their tomatoes, and it's actually wants colder weather, so it will bolt. So look at our cucumbers. So these two and these two are sweet slicers. You little guy need to go right. Put you right there. I'll work on them. So those are sweet slicers. This is a pickling, that's a pickling, that's a pickling, that's a pickling. This little guy, we had two of these and I killed one of them, is a salt and pepper cucumber. Reagan brought that, so he's excited about that one. I do not eat cucumbers. I don't like them. Reagan and Riley love them. Keaton's okay with them, so they're excited about all those. I want to pickle some this year, so we're going to try. And then I have a whole thing of not onions. This is all spineless okra. We love some fried okra, and Reagan would love for me to pickle some. So let's cross our fingers I actually get enough I can pickle some for him. And I also added these little guys. There's a few little onions. Not a ton of onions, but a few little onions. And since our last tour, Reagan got my tomato stakes up. And so this is my big bed. So you have 1 pole, 2 pole, 3 pole, and strung them up like that. And then I could cut those and adjust them as I need to. This bed is done too. I've still got to tie this bed up. But you'll see my marigolds too in all my tomato beds. Those are supposed to help keep some of the pests that love tomatoes away. I don't know if it works. Every time I plant tomatoes, I plant marigolds. Those also came from that produce auction. I paid 30 cents a plant. My daughter likes smelling them. I don't think they smell like anything, but she loves them. We do have more herbs to show. Got a lot of herbs. I love growing my herbs close to my house, or like close to my kitchen, because they're so easy to go grab and use them fresh. Sorry, the sun's in my eyes, guys. So, I got some pots from Walmart and some various places to grow some of my herbs. So, this pot came from Walmart. It actually has a reservoir down here for water, which I like. So we've got more chive, sage, some gorgeous dill, and more chive. We use a lot of chive. This little guy and this little guy are actually stevia. So you can take it and chew on it, and it's like a little sweet kick. So it's a sweetener. People buy this at Walmart to use as a sweetener. And this is oregano. I need to cut some of it and trim it and dry some up. I also love thyme. I use a ton of thyme in cooking, so I wanted a lot of thyme. So this whole pot is thyme. And you've seen all my little plant starts still full of herbs that need a home. Some of them will go in that lettuce box, but some of them are gonna go, I've got those two and this one. So my front porch will look symmetrical with all my herbs. So, we are doing better in the gardening this year. I feel like it's going better this year. I've struggled for many years with gardening, and I could not ever figure out why it was so hard for me to actually do the things. I struggled for many seasons trying to garden something, and really struggled all over the farm in a lot of ways. And everything's basic needs were met. The goats were taken care of, they were milked, but it was never great. I always wanted it to be better. I just could not figure out what the holdup was. And I've struggled with depression before the kids were born. I had postpartum. Deacon's probably was the worst postpartum, just because I felt so overwhelmed all the time. And I started trying to figure out why I was struggling so bad with all this stuff. I kept struggling. I couldn't figure it out why. I had tried different antidepressants. I had tried all the things. I've tried, essential oils in the house. I've tried plenty of sunlight, because it does get worse in the winter, and the weather helps some, yes. But I still was just struggling so bad and could not figure out. Apparently I have to go sit by him so I can talk. No, you can't eat the camera. But I could not figure out what was going on. And then we figured out I have ADHD and depression. And so getting on medication for both of those things, I am actually doing so much better with, being able to do stuff and getting stuff done, and more than just the basics being met. And so that is so great. And I don't know if y'all can tell, but I've been on the channel a lot more, that I have some more bandwidth to give and not just struggling. So I hope y'all are enjoying seeing me more. I'm gonna continue with stuff. Obviously my Let's Learn a New Skill is gonna continue. I've actually already got the next one filmed to go up on the third Saturday of the month, because I think in the first video I said Friday, and then promptly after finishing that video we changed our schedule to Saturdays and Wednesdays. So that's gonna continue. But I say all this to say, just because you're having a rough time, don't let it get you down. Figure out what's going on. And maybe you don't need medication like I do, but figure out how to help yourself. Talk to friends. There's nothing to be ashamed of to admit, I have tried everything and need medication. Now, you got to be careful with it, but don't be afraid to try something new. Don't be discouraged when you don't do as well as you think you're going to do. Don't be discouraged when you're in that moment, when you have no bandwidth. Some people say they don't have any spoons, because it will get better. You just have to, start looking at stuff. A lot of people having the routine of milk goats helps them, because once they can get over that morning hump or that routine of that thing needing them like that, helps. And it helps me some. It gets me out of bed. I hope that helps someone, even if it was a little rambly. Sorry, Reagan, while you're editing this. But I'm going to go drop the big kids off at Vacation Bible School, and I will pick up in this video in a little bit, and we will be planting some new plants. So I already filled up the potting soil while I was off camera, and it's just your normal like potting soil you get at Lowe's. It was cheap. It's nothing spectacular. Ideally, I'm going to use a better soil in these, but next year I will have a bunch of composted barn litter, so I'll switch all the soil out then, or at least add some of my better barns composted barn dropping soil. So some herbs you have to be really careful of. Things like mint, anything in the mint family, this is spearmint, will take over everything in a bed. So I'm planting them by themselves. I think a couple of these other things should be planted by themselves, but they're not going to be because I don't have enough pots. And we have, this is catnip. Catnip, obviously you can dry it and give it to your cats, but it is also really good, supposed to be good, to help keep mosquitoes away, so I'm excited to have some of it around. Also the lemon, this is lemongrass. Lemongrass is supposed to be good for that too. Actually anything with like the lemony scent. This is lemon verbena. Some of this stuff I don't know what to do with, like the lemongrass, the stevia, other than I can chew on a leaf. The spearmint, someone said make tea out of it. I'm not a big tea drinker, especially something like that. So if you have any other suggestions, let me know, because obviously I know what to do with dill, I know what to do with oregano, I know what to do with basil and chives and all those really basic ones, but some of these others I have no idea what to do with. So also I have an herb, it's L-O-V, I don't know. I'll have to look it up. Oh well. It's what happens when you're dyslexic and you try to do YouTube and you can't remember or spell. Yeah, I should have done this a little bit ago. This one's a little root bound. So these are a little root bound. They'll be okay. Some people will cut that off. I probably should, but I am a lazy gardener. So we're just gonna give it our best shot. One of my friends, she was over here and seen all these pots, and she's like, the pots and, you know, the pots and the tray there are worth more than the 10 cents you paid. So obviously I'm going to hold on to those, and hopefully we can start a few starts of our own. Do a few starts of our own next year. It seems like a small thing, but I am so excited to have all these herbs this year. I cook every day, multiple times a day, so having herbs like this is like, oh, the male guy's here, and he's gonna hear me talking to myself, so that's embarrassing. It's funny, I've been doing this for, I don't even know how many years now, 2 at least. Still get embarrassed talking in front of the camera like that in front of people. I know it seems, I am super excited about all these herbs because I cook every day. I use herbs every day. We use Italian seasoning or basil or something almost every day. So having being able to grow some of this ourselves, or maybe hopefully all of it, because the cool thing about growing herbs is they are really easy to come out here and snip, cook, whatever you want, and then you still have this giant plant that's still doing. The other day I came out here, the other day before dinner, I came out here and I clipped some chives and some thyme and some oregano and threw it into some butter, and we put it on some steaks. And it was that simple. You know, it's not like an onion or a garlic where it has to grow before you can use it. Herbs, you can just come out, you know, dill, you can come out and get however much you need for that day and use it, and then it'll continue growing. That's all I got for you today, guys. I appreciate you being here. I hope you follow along, and we'll see you on the next video. I'm Megan from the GWP Homestead. Bye.